My fellow flames, welcome back to another Arknights Endfield video. My name is Amethyst, and as you can see, I am over here on the OMV De Jung, and before me is the portal to the Etch Space Salvage. Now, for you guys wondering what is the Etch Space Salvage, this is essentially one of Arknights Enfield's endgame modes. You've got the factory building, you've got the stock exchange, and you've also got the Etch Space Salvage. This is Arknights combat endgame mode. The closest thing I can basically compare it to is the simulated universe for HSR and the Depths of Elusive Realm that was once in Wuthering Waves. This endgame mode is very fun. I'm having a great time playing it, and hopefully by the end of today's video you'll be prepared and understand what this endgame mode is, and hopefully by the end of the video it's going to entice you to come here to unlock the endgame mode for you to try and play for yourself. So when you get to a certain point in the story and when you get to a certain level, you are going to unlock a side mission that's going to guide you to Aquito. This NPC here, when you talk to Aquito, she's going to essentially ask you for your help to accumulate and acquire scientific information, scientific research to figure out what's going on with a strange anomaly, which is going to be the Etch Space Salvage. When you accept her quest, she's going to take you within the Etch Space Salvage, and you're going to select a team to take in there with you. And then that is where the fun begins. That is truly where the fun begins. And now, without further ado, my fellow flames, let me go into the Etch Space and tell you all of the mechanics that you're going to be able to experience and to help you understand how they work. So here we are in the Etch Space Salvage. Now, when it launches you in the game, you're going to spawn in something called the safe zone. As you can see, behind this golden line and behind that golden line in this square space is called the safe zone. Nothing can hurt you here. The enemies can't hurt you here, and you will not take DOT damage. Now, I'll explain what I mean by DOT damage. As you can see on the right side of my screen, there is something called the derangement acceleration. As you can see, it says none currently and 0 out of 1600. Now, when you first start the game, it won't say 0 out of 1600, it'll be much lower, but due to the fact that I've upgraded my derangement level, I'm able to accumulate a lot more DOT points. It essentially means that I'm going to be able to stay outside the safe zone for much longer, because as you can see, as soon as I leave, it starts to build. It's derangement level 1 at the moment, and it's building in single intervals. Now, when your derangement level reaches maximum, when it reaches the maximum it can go, for instance, minus 1600, it'll force you to extract. It'll say, we need to extract now because your derangement acceleration level is far too high, and the items that you've collected in this mode will be brought out with you, and you'll need to start the expedition again. Now, when I leave the safe zone, as you can see, as I said, the derangement acceleration begins to increase in single intervals. When I go into combat, it's increased from single intervals to 2 intervals per time. Now, depending on what zone you are in the map, that's going to essentially increase. Now, you may have seen while fighting the enemies, there were these big crystal orbs. You can destroy these crystal orbs and gather the contents inside. There's different rarities of these crystal orbs. There are white, green, gold, and red. Red being the most valuable, and white being the least valuable. It goes white, green, then gold, then red at the top. Red can only be found in Zone 3, golds can be found in Zone 2, green and whites can be found in near enough all zones, but most commonly in Zone 1. Now, every single time you destroy a crystal and open the contents inside, your derangement level will increase again. Everything in this game mode revolves around that derangement level. The aim of the game is to explore as much as possible, collect and claim as much as possible before your derangement level reaches critical mass. And just to demonstrate what I was talking about earlier, I'm in combat now, and look how high my derangement level is increasing because I'm in Zone 3. It's a lot higher. It's nowhere near as low as it was in Zone 1, which means you have to really be careful on what you're doing. And as I said earlier, when you destroy crystals of higher rarity, my derangement level will go up a little bit more than usual in Zone 1. I'm about to get an emergency extraction. I'll demonstrate what I mean by emergency extraction using this area as an example. So I'm now about to hit critical mass, and now it's forcing me to extract. I can't prevent this from happening. I cannot prevent this from happening. You get a red aura. It counts down from 10, and then emergency extraction is underway, and it launches you out of the game mode with the items you've collected and also the metrics earned in attempt. Now, the different level of crystals are not the only items you can obtain within this game and open within this game. You can also find these white instrument safes. You can also find these white packages. Everything you open and destroy and everything you fight drops items. Those items are going to be used for upgrades and purchasing items in the store for this specific game mode. I'll explain what you use to purchase using these items a little bit later on in the video, but the aim of the game is to collect as much as possible. The better the rarity, the better the value, the better the value, the better the things you can buy. You'll also find these auto vendors throughout the entire map. The better the rarity depending on what zone you're in. Again, there's white, there's green, there's gold, and there's red. Inside these auto vendors are items that is going to enable you to buy upgrades for this mode. The vending machines hold the most valuable items you can obtain within this game mode. Every single rarity of every single vending machine is useful from one way to another. These specific items that drop from the vending machines are going to enable you to purchase upgrades specifically. For instance, that's one of the reasons why I can actually take up to 1600 points of damage from my derangement level, because I collected and obtained loads of items specifically from high level enemies and vending machines. You'll also be able to unlock more zip lines, which is going to be able for you to travel between zones faster and quicker without you having to constantly restart. I've unlocked near enough every single zip line, so if I wanted to go from zone 1, skip zone 2 and go straight to zone 3, thanks to my exploration, I can do so. As you can see, I'm now using the zip line to go all the way to zone 3. Now, when you begin this endgame mode, you are not going to be able to explore every single zone from the start. Each zone has something called a zone gate. Now, to unlock the zone gate, you're going to need to explore each zone and look for the zone keys. Each zone key is going to unlock a seal for the zone gate. Collect all the keys, unlock all the seals, unlock the zone gate. Once you unlock the zone gate, you're going to go past where the zone door is, and before you traverse to the next zone, being zone 2 in this case, you're going to fight the zone boss. Now, I've just said zone too many times in that sentence, but this is indeed the case. You are going to fight the zone boss, which is then going to enable you to progress to the next zone. You can fight these as many times as you want once you fought them the first time. They drop rare and legendary items, so it's very useful for you to fight them whenever you choose to run through this endgame mode again. Now, they are pretty difficult. They do hit like a truck, so do be careful, but once you've defeated the zone boss, is going to drop a legendary item. Each zone boss drops is a legendary item, a different legendary item, which is also going to enable you to upgrade more things for you to explore this endgame mode. I'm currently now in zone 2, just for an example of after you beat the zone 1 boss, you're going to be able to go to zone 2. Each zone is going to have their own platforming challenges, their own puzzles, and each zone is unique. For instance, zone 1 was more factory based, zone 2 is more dungeon based, and zone 3 is more green and nature based. Each zone has its own biome and it makes it unique. Now, this is just the season 1 of the endgame mode. The reason why I say the season 1 is because this bridge at the top of zone 1 is completely locked. You can see there is an area ready to be explored over here, but you just can't access it yet. And on top of that, when you complete the story and complete zone 3 and complete the final zone boss, it's going to say to be continued, which tells me there's going to be more zones and there's going to be more for you to explore in this endgame mode. It's got a lot of replayability, there's lots of rewards and lots of things for you to collect and obtain in this endgame mode. Speaking of rewards, allow me to go over how you obtain premium currency for your pulls in this game mode. I know a lot of you are itching, what are the rewards like? Let's go over to the thing you've all been waiting for. Another thing that I think you Arknight Endfielders will enjoy about this endgame mode is the amount of chests you are going to be able to open. Now, when I say there's a lot of chests for you to open and obtain, I'm not lying to you. There's an abundance of them. There's all kinds of variety of chests. You got the whites, the blues, the golds, the reds. There's loads. For instance, I've just found one right here. Hello. If I was to give you a rough estimate on how many chests and how many Arubrials I've obtained just from exploring in this endgame mode, on a rough estimate, I'd say round about 1,000 Arubrials have been obtained strictly from playing through all 3 of these zones, completing the missions and obtaining the chests. And that isn't even the only way to get premium currency in this endgame mode. There's ways to get 10 pulls for the standard banner, there's ways to get more Rubrials for your premium pulls for your future units, whether you want Levitain, whether you want Bianca, or whether you want Yvonne. There's so many ways for you to obtain premium pulls in this game mode, and I'm going to break down how else you can obtain premium pulls other than the method of just exploring in the game as I've just shown you. So when you extract, you are going to extract with not only the items you've collected, but also the metrics earned in attempt, and below that you can see in white the current metrics, and above that in red the metrics earned in attempt. Now, in order for you to collect and obtain the rewards from the metrics that you've collected by simply just playing through the endgame mode, you talk to Aquito, you come down to view operations metrics, and you look at this menu here. As you can see, there is an abundance of different kinds of rewards you can obtain all the way up to 50,000. 50,000 metrics is the maximum amount of metrics you need in order to collect every single reward available to you. There is 2,000 Arubrials available for you to collect, upgrade materials for your characters, and a 10 pull for the standard banner. Now, as far as I know, this is refreshing every patch, which means you're going to be getting 2,000 Arubrials and a 10 pull for the standard banner every single patch, or at least every time the rewards refresh, because this game mode is permanent, which means these rewards are going to refresh. But that is amazing. If I give you my estimate of my 1,000 Arubrials collected from exploring the game, and then I go over here to the metric system and get 2,000 from the metrics collected, then that's going to give me 3,000 Arubrials. Now, that's about 6 pulls. I'd say it's about 6 pulls, so that's not too bad considering for an endgame mode. Now, could it be more? Yes, but I think that's pretty good. The rewards are pretty good. It isn't the only rewards you can get. You can get many more different kinds of rewards. Like I said, a temple for the standard banner, and also upgrade materials for your characters. If you are someone that is worried about a lack of rewards for the endgame modes, do not fret, because if this updates every patch, you're going to be getting a 10 pull for the standard banner and 6 pulls for the limited banner. Now, the last thing I want to touch on are the upgrades. How do you upgrade your stats? How do you upgrade the mechanics of this endgame mode? Well, you go up to here on the View Commissions and Exploration Support Tech, and this is where you're going to take on missions. This is where you're going to complete missions to get even more Arubrials. I haven't even counted these into the rewards that you get. In order to upgrade these is simply by just collecting the required items it tells you to collect. Then I can click on this, and then it gives me a cap increase for my stable protocol, which means my derangement limit has increased. When you complete the main story of this endgame mode, you are going to unlock your weeklies. These can be refreshed, but you only get to complete, I think, 5 or 6 every single week. These are going to give you these operation metrics, and the operation metrics is what's going to get you the rewards over here and Aquito, and down here, view operations metrics. That's going to help you get the maximum amount of rewards up here. Now, if there's 5 per week, that's about 25,000 points of metrics, which is going to get you a pretty decent amount of the way through. The rest you're going to have to just go into the endgame mode, explore, do what you need to do, and get the metrics that way. Do you get as many? No. Do you still get a decent amount? I'd say you get about 1,000 to 2,000 per run, depending on how well you've done, but it's pretty good. This endgame mode shocked me. This endgame mode surprised me. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. This is the only, as far as I know, this is the only endgame combat mode available for you currently within the game. The only other endgame content you have is the factory building and the stock exchange. This is the endgame for your combat. For you combat lovers, this is what you're going to be wanting to come to, unlock, and play. It's very fun. It's different to the other endgame modes we've had in other gacha games, but it has promise. I think it does have promise. The rewards are pretty generous when it comes down to this specific game mode. It's fun, it's unique, and I implore a lot of you to dive in and check it out for yourselves. Hopefully this video helped you break down all of the different aspects about this endgame mode, and yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I will speak to you all in the next one. Take it easy and have a good rest of your day.